This year, Konami celebrates 25 years of PES, and it should be an absolute moment for celebration. At the end of May, however, rumours began to circulate that PES 2021 would provide little more than a kit and roster update, after information was found on the Australian classification website about a PES 2021 season update. Details on the official Microsoft website added further strength to this rumour the other week, and Konami have themselves now confirmed that PES 2021 will indeed just be a season update. They're apparently confident though that this year's game will offer fans more than enough to tide them over until their next gen title is ready for launch next year. Bold. The good news though is that PES 2021 will be available at a special anniversary price, so although it may just be an updated version of PES 2020, the price does at least in some way reflect this. EA Sports has been doing this season update thing for years now on the older consoles, offering a legacy edition of the game which is essentially exactly the same, just with a squad and roster update. This started with FIFA 18 on PS3 and Xbox 360, and they also did the same thing for the Nintendo Switch with FIFA 20. Whilst Konami will be offering their update away at a reduced price of $24.99, however, EA Sports isn't usually quite so generous with its price points. FIFA 20 for the Nintendo Switch, for example, despite being the exact same game as FIFA 19 for the Nintendo Switch, kits and rosters aside, initially retailed at $44.99. I did buy the previous two iterations and I genuinely had some good fun with it. At that price point though, no chance. So should you buy PES 2021? I guess that all depends really exactly what you're looking for and also whether or not you already own PES 2020. If you did buy last year's game, you'll receive an in-game offer of 20% off the next one, bringing the price point down a bit, but in my opinion, it's still a bit on the expensive side for a very minimal update. As I say, it's a better deal than what EA usually provides for something very similar, but you're still going to be shelling out another £20 and receiving very little in return that you didn't have already. On the plus side, there are a few new managers available in Master League with Frank Lampard, Ryan Giggs and Pep Guardiola being added. On the downside though, the San Siro will no longer be in the game as Konami have lost the license for both AC Milan and Inter. So if you're a fan of either of the Milan clubs or just a fan of Italian football in general, this may well be a reason in favour of just sticking with PES 2020. If you're playing PES on PS4 or PC, it's extremely easy to install an option file which provides you with all of the correct team names and kits for unlicensed teams in the game. So if all the update provides is a few new Master League managers plus updated kits and rosters, then you're not really gaining much from picking up the new game that you can't already achieve in PES 2020. And if you don't already own PES 2020, then it's still kind of debatable as to whether or not you should pick up the next one. PES 2020 has its problems, and as PES 2021 is just a season update, this game is no doubt also going to have its fair share of issues. So PES 2021 probably won't be the perfect football game, but will it still be better than FIFA 21? Potentially, yeah. And for PES 2022, things are looking incredibly promising. Konami have been extremely transparent about their plans for next year's game, and that's genuinely a very refreshing thing to see. They'll be using the Unreal Engine, and they've also outlined plans to make large updates both to MyClub and to Master League. We've heard it all before though when it comes to Master League and apparent improvements. A while back, Konami revealed a 3-year plan to revamp and redevelop Master League, which sounded absolutely awesome. This should be the 3rd year of that plan though. Not much has really happened in that time, and with PES 2021 just being a season update, this continues to be the case for at least another year. They say that they're working on major updates, and that'll be great if Konami can indeed deliver on this promise, but offline game modes being pushed aside is sadly an all too familiar story across the board. EA Sports has massively neglected FIFA career mode in the last decade or so, 2K doesn't provide a huge amount of changes to My League, and in Madden, the hashtag #FixMadden franchise was recently trending #1 in the United States, which pretty much tells you everything that you need to know about the state of neglect and disappointment that would have to occur to have this trending in the middle of a global pandemic. So although it's nice to hear that they'll apparently be looking to make major changes to Master League for PES 2022, the initial 3-year plan has so far provided very little, and if you're a fan of Master League, then until we've seen some serious evidence that big changes are indeed coming, I probably wouldn't really recommend getting your hopes up. And for those that play MyClub, Konami have outlined various different bonuses that you can receive based on your progress in PES 2020 to help get you started in the next game, which is at least something. But it is just a season update, so there's only so much that they're going to be doing with the gameplay, and you're essentially just paying again for the exact same game. Then again though, how much do football games often really change each year? And for those that exclusively play modes like MyClub and Ultimate Team, the starter benefits that you usually receive are generally a lot worse. So it's not as awful as it could have been, but personally, if MyClub was my main game mode of choice, I'd probably just stick with the old game for now and wait for PES 2022. So back to the original question then, is PES 2021 worth picking up? If you didn't play the last game, then yeah, it probably is worth a go. Being a season update, it's obviously not a new game, just a slightly tweaked version of PES 2020, but if you didn't play the last one, it'll be new to you anyway, and at £25, you could definitely do a lot worse. If you do already own PES 2020 though, even with the 20% discount, I'm not so sure, as option files make it so easy to sort out the kits if you're playing on PS4 or PC. I just don't really see what real incentive most people have to buy the new game if they already have the last one. On a personal level, yeah, I probably will pick up the game and put out a few videos on it, but that's because I'm a content creator and football games are kind of my thing. That doesn't necessarily mean that I think it's a good deal for most consumers though, and yeah, quite honestly, I don't. For most people that already own PES 2020, the wisest move is probably to wait for the next gen release that Konami are piling all of their resources into. They talk a very good game when it comes to their plans with next gen, and if they can indeed come back bigger and better than ever for PES 2022, that'll be absolutely fantastic. It's always a difficult move transitioning from one console generation to another, and introducing a new engine isn't always the smoothest process either. But it seems like Konami are putting themselves in the best possible position here to absolutely smash it out of the park with PES 2022, and fingers crossed that they do. As a football fan, I'd like to see Konami and EA Sports thriving each year and pushing each other to up their game with each and every title. So PES 2021 just being a season update is a massive blow in my opinion, and in all honesty, it's a pretty sad way to celebrate 25 years really. This year's loss is potentially next year's gain though, and if Konami can indeed deliver on their promise and develop a game that both works well with the new engine and makes the most of the next gen console capabilities, PES 2022 should be an absolute banger. Anyway though, thanks for watching. I'll have plenty more videos coming in the future, so stick around and subscribe if you want to see more from me. Leave the video a like if you've enjoyed it, and if you do decide to pick the game up, then I highly recommend checking out PES Universe. I've been using their option files for about 4 or 5 years now, and I've always been massively impressed with the time and effort they put in to help make PES a more complete product. I've spoken a lot about option files in this video, and in my opinion, theirs is brilliant. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below anyway though. How do you feel about that £25 price point? Is it fair, do you think, or should Konami have been slightly more generous with the price? Especially for those that already own PES 2020. Let me know your opinions in the comments section. Have an awesome day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again next time.